First I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Brooklyn Prince. I'm a student occupational therapy assistant. And as a student occupational therapy assistant, I have been training in facilitating groups and leading groups, so that's what we're doing today. And you guys are gathered today specifically to learn about support systems. So that is the purpose of our group. The activity we're doing will require you to work as a team and trust and support each other. If anyone has done this activity, I'll ask that you remain silent during the activity. You may participate in it, but not help your team complete the activity. Otherwise, they won't learn as much. But before we do that, I know you all know each other, so we're just going to do an icebreaker that kind of tests how well you know each other. So I wrote your names down on the cards, and I'll pass them out randomly. You don't have to have your own name, but you can't look at it. So I would just hold it up. You can just hold it right here as long as you don't look at it. The light kind of makes it see-through, so just don't glance at it or anything.
Okay.
And you may ask one question of each person on who you are, not specifically who am I, but a question like, if I was Teresa, I'd ask, do I like baking? And preferably stay away from the yes or no questions, or what do you like to do? And you would ask me, sorry, what do you like to do? And I'd say, well, I like to bake. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. We will do 2 rounds of it. I made other names so that you couldn't just look and do process of elimination. You guys can all go around at the same time. I will do it with you. Alright, so go ahead. Okay, so my group over there, go ahead and before we start this activity, now we've finished our icebreaker, I'm going to go over a few rules, so go ahead and raise your hands in the air. So we're going to use our fingers to represent. This is your pinky finger. It represents us. Some people have sensitive emotions. They might feel small, and we have to be respectful of those emotions. This is our ring finger. It stands for commitment. Be committed to doing this activity and participating in it. This is our largest middle finger. It's the tallest one. It could stand for people that may be a big bully, and we just ask not to be mean to other people, but once again respectful. And this is the pointer finger. Sometimes we use the point blame at others. If something goes wrong, remember you can only point it at yourself. Even then, you might just want to keep that one tucked. And the last one is thumbs up, because it's going to be fun activity. Now that we are a little more comfortable with each other, we'll start the game. So this is called Helium hoop. And you'll each gather around the hoop and then hold it with one finger. Yep, and you can use both hands since there's so few of you. So this game, you can't hook your fingers, you can't grab the hoop, you simply have to rest the hoop on your fingers. And the goal is to get it from up here down to the ground. And you cannot drop it to do so. You have to do it as a group.
Okay.
And then everyone may discuss ways to do it, except for the person who has done this activity. Has anyone else done this activity? You have?
Mm-hmm.
Except for these two, so it's all
Mm-hmm.
There we go. We made it! Yay!
Alright, now you can have a seat if you would like. We'll go.
Come on. We're too good at this.
Oh, that's a good exercise.
Next time it comes back. Yeah, and it's really hard if you have a lot of people in the group too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you have weight. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It would have been harder if there was more people.
Yeah. Okay, are you back, Robert?
Yeah. Grab it up.
Okay, so even though you weren't allowed to help out during the activity, feel free to discuss anything you want to during the questions. So what helped you all be successful in completing the activity?
We had to tell the individual that was going too slow to stay up with us.
Okay, so communication.
Communication was very much key.
Mm-hmm. Well, I thought it was more awareness of what the others were doing and then trying to match that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
Anyone else?
Being
I
aware
agree with both.
Probably also having a common goal
That's
of like being steady and making sure like, okay, yeah, we want to go down, not up.
Right.
And what built trust between you and the group? So you could accomplish having that communication, having that common goal. What would have built that trust that you had for each other?
Well, the starting part was probably the icebreaker. You know, being more comfortable with everybody in the group.
Yeah. And positive smiles and giggles.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah, positivity is definitely a motivator.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that could have been done more to build your trust in each other?
I don't think so.
Yeah, with the group that we have
Yeah.
right now, I think we all know each other pretty well already.
And
So
we
that
trust each other.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I feel like if there were other people here that we didn't know as well, then maybe it wouldn't have gone as smoothly.
Is there a way, if you hadn't known each other as much, is there a way that you would have trusted them more doing this activity?
I think more communication would have been helpful as well. Like we all kind of knew, because we know each other, we're able to communicate non-verbally a lot easier because we know how each of us communicate non-verbally. Whereas if we don't know each other, then more verbal communication is more necessary.
Right.
Exactly. Okay, so then, before this last question, let me explain a little bit about the hula hoop, or I guess, Robert, you know how it works. If you would like to explain, or would you like me to?
Go for it.
So at the beginning we said that it's about support systems. Go ahead and grab the other side. the hoop is actually only balanced on 2 people's fingers during the whole activity. And those are your support systems of the hoop. So they're the only ones controlling it that are going down. So if the 2 people figure out which one's the support system, then they're the only 2 that really need to communicate, and as long as they're including the rest of the team to move with them, then you can easily bring the hoop to the ground.
Oh.
So it's kind of about balance that way. So how can we utilize, applying that, how can we utilize support systems in our daily lives? Being a support system and using other people as our support system.
Yeah, identify the leader.
The people you trust.
Right. Yep.
Well, who you want to trust. Identify somebody who you feel comfortable enough to give that power to, to trust them
Yeah.
and go forward.
I think it's also important, like when you guys were holding up the hula hoop, you were opposite of each other. And I don't think a support system can work if you don't have a clear line of sight with them. Or, so to speak, to have a clear common goal with them. Like, you wouldn't be able to hold a hula hoop if the person was side by side with you. It's too much support can not help as well as being able to have that common goal going down.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Like if you were yourself, you can't help yourself sometimes. So
Yeah.
you need to reach out to other people.
Correct, yeah.
What about you, Robert?
I think you want to be able to let yourself get help as well. Because if you don't want to be the person getting help, then you can't really have a support system.
Yeah. Like sometimes you want to be that person holding the hoop and taking it down, but you might not be the support. You might have to rely on the others. Just kind of the lot that falls to you. Are there any other comments that anyone wishes to share that they learned during this activity? It could be related or unrelated to what we've already talked about.
That's good. One thing that I would point out is sometimes we have in our groups individuals that want to lead, but maybe not know how, so they need guidance and direction and help from everybody else. And we're teaching each other how to be good leaders.
That's true.
Yeah.
Thank you. So to go over what we've done then, we used 2 fingers to control the entire hula hoop that acted as support. And then I had a little handout for you guys to kind of establish that more. So that's just a bridge with its supports.
Oh, yeah.
And I can print one out and give one to each of you after this.
Okay.
So that you can always remember to rely on the people that are around you that you trust and to gain the trust of others. And so that's what we learned with the hula hoop. To be a team, right? To trust and support, and then to utilize others for our support. So when would we need a support system in our lives? Just a couple examples.
Well, when you're making big decisions, things that are that's going to take your life in a direction, in any kind of direction. I
Yeah.
think that's
Marriage, school,
yeah.
buying a house.
Marriage, school, yeah, house. What things that you want to do in college. What kind of academics that you want to do, or a job.
Or even in your work environment, you have to be able to accept the support of the individuals around you.
Mm-hmm. To learn your task.
Yep.
To learn what you're there for.
And so rhetorically, just think who is your support system. You can picture those people in your mind, probably all of you right here. And just remember that you can go to them for all these reasons and that you should for your work, for your school, for those life-changing moments. And it is actually better as a learner to rely on those supports, to not do things on your own. So can you all commit to trusting your support system and utilizing them?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, and I think we learned a lot. And that's all the activity I have for you guys. I'm glad you were able to participate. I know it was hard for some of you. And for the next time, if you guys